Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, issue number 1 review. Written and illustrated by Patrick Horvath. To give a little bit of a summary of this book, issue number 1 to be exact, we're introduced to a bear that can talk. This whole world is filled with animals that can talk and some that can't. I will get to that in a little bit. But we're introduced to Sam and the town she lives in, and how everybody is very friendly to everybody. Everybody greets everybody, says hello. Everybody knows everybody's name, kind of like Cheers. But then we find out a little bit more about Sam. She works at a hardware store, and that she lives by some rules. And we're kind of wondering, what rules is she living by? Why is she living by these rules? And then we soon find out that she is a serial killer. She goes out and kills people. Um, and that is the rules that she lives with. And we get introduced to some of her friends, some of her acquaintances in this little town. And everything seems so fine until the very end, where we find out that somebody is not playing by the rules and they're doing their own little thing and killing and making it very, very, very public. And that is just the summary of the first issue. Let me go into my review here. My review is pretty simple. It was pretty simple, easy to get through issue number 1. I kind of knew going into this that I knew that it was a book about a killer living a secret life as a killer in that, and people were saying it's kind of like Dexter in a way, but not really. I would not compare it to Dexter, just for the simple fact that Dexter was doing it for certain reasons, and it seems Sam is just doing it because she loves killing people. So that's my take on the book. Overall, I did really enjoy this book. I did enjoy it. There was a parts that I didn't enjoy, like the fact that the middle part dragged on. And I was kind of getting a little bit bored, and I was like, well, if this is just the book, then I'm out. I'm not like I'm going to continue reading it, of course, but I'm not going to overly enjoy reading it. But then the hook at the end really got me in, where we found out that there is a person that is out here killing people without a set of rules and is really going to muck things up for Sam. Sam is living by rules in that because she doesn't want to get caught. And then the only people that know about her misdeeds are the other animals that can't talk. Which, let's speak on that a little bit. I did not enjoy that part. I don't like the fact that we're living in a world where there's animals and that can talk, that can move up on their hind feet or 2 feet and go about businesses like humans can, and then you have other animals that are just animals that are just can't talk, walk on all fours, live in the forest. I do not like that. Just like how I don't like how Pluto in Mickey Mouse is just a dog, and then you have Goofy, who is also just a dog, but Goofy can talk. Goofy may be goofy, but he can still talk. So Pluto guy, I don't trust you with your little beating red eyes and that. I don't trust you one bit, Pluto. You're gonna come at me, huh? But anyways, moving on from that, the book was very, very interesting to say the least. Like I said, the hook at the end really got me in. I was kind of getting a little bit bored in the middle half of the book, but to say the least, it did get me hooked at that end, and that's what you need to do in a book. You need to have that hook that be like, you know what, you're gonna come back. You're definitely gonna come back and read this. You're for sure gonna come back and read this. And they're right. I am for sure gonna be coming back and reading this. So all in all, let me speak on the art right quick before I get out of here. The art was the one thing that I thought I was going to have the issue with. It's the reason why I didn't pick up this book and didn't want to read it and stuff. The art did not appeal to me whatsoever. It did remind me of Robert Munch, if you remember him, and that he did illustrate um, a lot of kids' books. in the 90s, and that it kind of reminded me of that. And I was just like, well, I don't want to read a book that's about serial killer and has like kiddish vibes to it. It just reminded me of a kid's book. I will say the art did grow on me, but not enough. I'm still not a fan of the art. I'm a fan of the writing, though. I am a fan of the writing. So Patrick Horvath, please don't come at me for not liking your art. I did like your writing. So other than that, I would give this book. Let me do it the way that we do it on book club. I would give this book for cover. It's pretty decently done up. You get the whole premise of the story in just the cover. But like I said, the art is just not for me. It is for other people, but it's just not for me. So I would have to give the cover a 2.5. Interior art, I would give the same. I would give the same for the interior art. It's the exact same art, and it did grow on me, though. I will admit it did grow on me, but for the art inside, 2.5. Story wise, it did introduce me to the characters, and got me kind of acquainted with this world that Sam is living in, and that I did have some gripes about how the middle half of the story kind of dragged on. I wasn't impressed with it, and also the fact that I know it's a minor detail, but I don't like that we have animals that can talk and then animals that can't talk. It's just inconsistent. Inconsistencies bother me. So I would give the story a 3, and overall a 3, a 3 for this story. Now, would I recommend this book? Would I recommend this book to people? I would. I would. I'd tell them a little bit about what it's all about, and give them a little rundown, and say this is what you can expect from this issue, and then say, yeah, I would recommend this book to people. So if you're interested in this review, if you're interested in this book at all, of the way I talked about it, go check it out. But that'll be my review, guys. It's not a very good review, but it was a review nonetheless. So if you liked it, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button on your way out. And as always, my friends, stay freaking nerdy.